Good morning to you. I'm Margaret Petros, the Executive Director with Mothers Against Murder. I would like to bring this to your attention again. I've addressed it in the past, but I would like at this public meeting. So the program requires verifications from IRS and FTB when victims, applicants apply for wage and support losses. And you're now doing it for the previous year before the crime, the year of the crime, and recently I came across a claim that required verification and requested verification from FTB the year after the crime, which makes absolutely no sense to me. And I think in that case, the board is overreaching their powers and really violating victims' privacy when really have no business to know why and how much was the victim making after the crime. In addition to that, my feeling is the records are not required under Government Code Section 13952C3, which says the board shall not require an applicant to submit documentation from Internal Revenue Service and the Franchise Tax Board. It goes on at the end to say the board may require and use documentation from these entities to verify the amount of compensation for income or support loss. My belief, this is done by the legislators for a reason, with the intent that if there are other ways to verify the income and support loss, it should be used, such as pay stubs, declaration from the employer, bank statements. For many reasons, victims are not always able to file their taxes. And if you're going to require it, I've asked in the past for the board not to deny claims because of tax records are not available or the victim has delayed the filing. It should be, and in the past, that's how it was done, is to process it as fully unverified. That way, the victim can come back anytime in the future when they file their taxes and submit them to you. Because when you recommend it be denied, it comes before the board, it's finally denied, then the only other option is there is 60 days to go to court. Yes, you've told me that you could take it back and reconsider it, but I really think that is wrong. Once it's gone through this system for a final denial, taking it back is not okay. So it's best not to decide on it and deny it formally, just process it as unverified. So these are things that are impacting a lot of the victims I've worked with, and being denied this very important benefit is devastating to them. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Petros, for your comment. Recognizing that we can't talk about it as a board since the item wasn't agendized. Council, did you have a comment on this item?
What I would say is that at the January board meeting, I brought before the board the ability for the board to make amendments to its regulations. And this is one of the regulations that we are looking at because we recognize some of our victims may not fall under the criteria for having to file tax returns. However, if they did file tax returns, it is important that we get that information. And to address Ms. Petros with regard to post-tax returns, the statute allows CA VCB to ask for any information necessary to verify the claim. And there are some instances where claimants will apply to us and claim that they are not employed. However, we have evidence that indicates otherwise. So there may be some instances where we do request tax returns to verify that information post-crime. So the regulation does currently require tax returns, and that is something that we are looking at as our packet. recognizing that some of our victims may not have met the threshold to have to file tax returns.